Hello and welcome to today's trade review. It's your boy PJ Trades. Today is 5/8/2025, and we caught an absolute banger on the S&P 500 today. As you guys know, I don't really trade the S&P 500 too much unless the setup is better on the S&P, which in today it was better looking. And this trade was, one of those trades that you really wish you can catch every single day. So let's just go through the higher time frame bias and analysis as always, so you guys can understand what I was looking for and why I took this trade here today. So the first thing that I'm always looking for, I usually jump on the 1 hour time frame to see where any 1 hour gaps are resting in the market. As you can see here, we have a 1 hour bullish Ifvg that this market comes back down into. So let me just delete this candle here. And as you can see, this market over the course of the last, how many days is this? Since Wednesday, all the way up Wednesday and Thursday, we're trending higher. Pretty much all green candles besides two down close bearish candles. So we're trending higher on this leg. We come all the way down to this 1 hour Ifvg. Now, why is this 1 hour Ifvg important to me? This is the last line of defense for the bulls in this situation. If you guys notice, and what I talked about on the channel, the first presented fair value gap is going to be the gap that I'm usually very interested in, because it's going to be the last line of defense for, the bulls or the bears, depending on what trade setup we're looking at. So as you can see here, the market pulls higher, pulls back into that first presented fair value gap on this leg. This is the first presented gap. And then we kind of sit here and we hover. Okay. So that's what I was looking at on the 1 hour. You guys got to understand that visually, how I'm looking for this market to now move. If you guys have been paying attention and taking notes, you already know what I'm going to say. Internal to external liquidity, right? We have New York PM high resting here. Okay, this is a 1 hour swing high from Friday, May 2nd that has been left open. Okay, and we still can use it as a draw on liquidity. So right now, as I'm looking at price, we're sitting internal and I'm looking for an external move. Okay. Overall, higher time frame bias on the 4 hour and daily is bullish. I mean, I'm still looking for higher prices, right? We're delivering internal to external here. Then what do we do here, guys? We come back up, we go back into a 4 hour gap. Now we're going internal to external again. Okay. So you have to look at the higher time frames to really give you guidance in your trading. Now, after I've identified where that 1 hour fair value gap is on the 1 hour, I'll drop down onto the 15 to see if there's any 15-minute gaps as well. And what do you know? We have an overlapping 15-minute gap, okay, and a 1 hour gap there. So you guys can see overlapping gaps here in yellow. Let me change this one just to a different color really quickly, just so you guys can visualize it. So we have a 15-minute gap overlapping a 1 hour fair value gap. Okay, also a little order block down in here on the 15, which I'm not going to mark out. So definitely an area of confluence for me for a potential reversal play. Now jump onto the 15-minute, the 5-minute. And now I'm looking to see kind of how we're closing and what's going on in the 5-minute. Is there any fair value gaps that I should be interested in? And there's really nothing too much here. So I'm going to go ahead and just ignore that for now. Now, on the 1 minute, here's where things get interesting. So the 1 minute leaves behind this big fair value gap here, this 1 minute Ifvg. Now, if you guys look in blue, I want you to notice all the liquidity to the upside here. This is all relative external high swing highs, which is liquidity. Okay. So if we're going to deliver out of a 1 hour Ifvg, a 15-minute Ifvg, and go internal to external and tag all this stuff up here, what do I know about this? What do we know about all these swing highs? We know that this is going to be low resistance liquidity. And if we're going to catch a trade on low resistance liquidity, what do we know about that? We know it's going to move very aggressively to the upside. Okay. So That is what I'm forming in this trade idea. I see so much liquidity, which for me is how I love to trade. When we're building up liquidity to the upside or to the downside, that means we can catch a low resistance liquidity trade setup, and it's going to be a pretty quick trade, which is what happens today. So here we go. We manipulate to the downside. First presented fair value gap on the manipulation leg. As you guys can see here, here's our manipulation. That's going to be our money sweep. Okay. So we've got this manipulation here. Let me just mark it out for you guys so we understand what we're doing here. Go in. That's our money sweep now. There's a manipulation. There's stops getting ran. People that went long here just got ran right to the downside. Their stops got tagged. Now I'm looking for a 1 minute inverse to the upside. Okay. Now I'm just going to break down exactly what I saw. At this point, everything's framed. I'm just waiting. We don't need to do anything else. We framed the trade. Okay. We are framed and ready to go. Boom. Let me just go one more candle. I believe we flip right here. Okay. Boom. On this candle, we're in this trade already. Okay. So now we flipped. We have a 1 minute inverse to the upside. And I have plenty of liquidity to draw into, guys. Plenty of liquidity, man. 6 take profits that we were looking at today. All right. So at this point, guys, the trade is framed. We're in the trade. Stops are below the inversion. TP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, at this point, guys, there's nothing else to do. We have put together a higher time frame bias. We found our draws on liquidity. We found a potential reversal area. We've got a manipulation, okay, which is this right here. And now we're getting a strong V shape out with a 1 minute inverse. I mean, dude, it doesn't get more A+ than this. So we're in the trade. Risk is set at this point. And you guys can see how fast this trade moves in our direction. Once we get, momentum, we're out. Full TP, 6 TPs slapped. And this trade only took us about 34 minutes, which is crazy. Ends up delivering 6 TPs for 51 points on the S&P 500 for a massive, massive trading day. So it looks simple. It sounds simple when I explain it, but it's the visualization on the higher time frame, I think, that most people get wrong. And if you can start putting the higher time frame bias together with your lower time frame analysis and models, which I teach, things are really going to start to open up in your trading. So that's today's trade review. I hope you guys enjoyed the live trading session today. I know a lot of you guys made a ton of money on this. I appreciate you guys being there. This week, trading wise, we've been literally like, I think, down a couple points overall in the week, been patient, have not had many solid trading opportunities, and we were patient and we got rewarded for it. And that's what trading is all about, guys. It's more of the mental side of trading than it is the charts. This is not that complicated, but your mind overcomplicates everything in your trading. And that's truly what's holding you back. It might be that you're good at the charts, but your psychology is what's really holding you back from being successful in day trading. So my recommendation, guys, if you're struggling with, taking trades, with your greed, with your FOMO, with all these emotional behaviors, try to detach that as much as you can from your business. As soon as you realize that those emotions are going to be detrimental to your bottom line, you got to separate those feelings and focus fully on what the charts are telling you. And then execute your trades without hesitation. I hope you guys enjoyed this trade review here today, and I'll see you guys on the trading floor.